It's February 2nd, 2025. You're a Mavs fan.
Houston Rockets this year. 4-3.
Doncic is getting cheered every time by Mavericks fans, but there are a lot of Laker fans here, and they're always on the road. And Doncic knocks down a three-pointer.
Luka Doncic, 25 years old, five-time All-NBA, dragged y'all to the finals 9 months ago, got traded to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a future pick that's so far away tastes like betrayal. Your soul feels like it took a charge from Shaq. And somewhere in Dallas, Nico Harrison put both hands on the wheel, floored it, and drove the franchise off a cliff while yelling, "Trust me." Yeah, this ain't just a bad trade. This is a franchise arson. How we got from parade floats to panic buttons 9 months earlier? The Mavs were on a float, baby. Western Conference champs. Luka at 25, already carrying the city like a backpack. 5 All-NBA first teams. Kyrie giving you that sorcerer offense when it clicked. The defense scrappy. The vibes immaculate. The future glowing like a Vegas billboard. Then the 2024-25 season pulled up with a surprise fool package. Injuries, funky rotations, role players forgetting which side the basket's on. Kyrie nicked up. The shooters shooting like the ball was allergic to the rim. And the whispers start. Luka and the front office ain't vibing. Nothing dramatic, just that little rattle in your car you swear you'll get fixed next week. Enter Nico Harrison, Mr. Bold Moves, Big Ideas, I zig when they zag. And brother, he zigged straight into a concrete wall. He stared at Anthony Davis, still elite when he plays, but when he plays is like a comet sighting, and said, "That's our lifeline." Then he pressed send on the wildest group text in Texas. Luka to the Lakers for ad, Max Christie, and a prom night distant first. February 2nd, middle of the night, when only owls and bad decisions are awake, he pulled the trigger. Dallas went nuclear in 0.5 seconds. I ain't never seen Twitter, or X, or whatever we're calling that bird skeleton, unite like that. Fire Nico trended faster than a cat video. Talk shows did emergency segments. Mavs fans pulled up to American Airlines Center with signs like it was a city council impeachment hearing. Rival execs were whispering, "Lord, they got fleeced." And some of them didn't even whisper. One exec called it extremely underwhelming for a perennial MVP candidate entering his prime. Translation? This the worst haggle I done seen since my cousin tried to trade a lawnmower for a Mercedes. Another exec flat out said the quiet part loud. How do you not get more for Luka? Miko, bless his heart, got up at the podium wearing the confidence, "Time will tell if I'm right," he said. Brother, the only thing time told us is that clocks still work. Meanwhile in Los Angeles, Luka showed up and started playing the violin while the city burned. In a good way. Luka landed at LAX, grabbed a street taco, and proceeded to average a biblical number stretch out the gate. First game, 49, 11, and 8. Then 11 games in, 37 a night, flirting with a triple-double, dragging the Lakers from to, oh no, they're a problem. And in Dallas, Anthony Davis gave him 14 games, won 4, before the injury goblins said, "We'll be taking that." Then the new season starts. A couple more games, Calf says nope, and we're back to the familiar silhouette of AD in street clothes, clapping supportively. The on-court numbers? Pure sadness. 3-8 start. Bottom 3 offense that looked like it was running through a landline connection. 104.2 points per 100, last in threes made, last in three-point percentage, and last in looks like they know what they're doing. Jason Kidd tried to start Cooper Flagg, who's a monster prospect, yes, but not a point guard, at point guard, because desperate times call for desk lamps pretending to be lighthouses. 7 games later, they folded that experiment like a cheap lawn chair. The arena turned into a weekly referendum. Every home game sounded like a protest. Fire Nico, echoing off the rafters like the world's worst white noise machine. Folks wore Luka Lakers jerseys in Dallas. Absolute villain behavior, but pain makes people do petty. The make some noise signs with AD's face looked like parody prop comedy. It got so bad that after a loss to the Wizards, yes, those Wizards, the chants swallowed everything. Same night, Luka drops 23 in the first quarter in LA and finishes with 49. The split screen of joy and misery was art house cinema. Players started feeling it. Daniel Gafford said it was disheartening hearing the chants all night. Another unnamed guy muttered, "These people don't want us to win," which, no man, what they want is competence. They want to not be the punchline at Thanksgiving. Ownership felt the blowtorch. Patrick Dumont signed off on this trade. That matters. This ain't just Nico. The owner heard the pitch, saw the PowerPoint, and said, ship it. But here's the thing about pressure. It'll cook you or make a diamond. After a blown lead against the Bucks, Dumont's courtside. A kid in a Luka Lakers jersey, teenage, got season tickets near him, apologizes for cussing him out opening night, then says, basically, "What are we doing?" And Dumont, according to that kid's account, did the owner version of laying on the therapist couch. He regretted the deal. That was the bottom. Sitting 6 feet from the court, taking fan confessions and handing out mea culpas while your team coughs up leads like hairballs. That night, Dumont made the only sane choice on the table. Nico out. Let her in Tuesday morning. Bye-bye. Nico Harrison, relieved of duties. Public announcement followed by an owner's note to the fan base with the classic ingredients. "We were this close. We know you're hurting. This is on me. We're committed to winning. Transparency, investment, future." It didn't fix the burnout engine, but it at least turned off the check engine light for a second. Nice letter. Cool paragraphs. Now what? Because you're 3-8, your return is rehabbing on a foam roller. Your rookie star is being piloted like a drone out of position. You can't shoot. You can't bend the defense. And the guy who should be your statue out front is wearing purple and gold. The now what is uglier than a free throw off the side of the backboard. Here's the honest map. No sugar. Dallas is in the purgatory crouch. Not horrible enough to bottom out, because Cooper Flagg is still good enough to swing a few games. Not good enough to matter in May. Strapped to AD's deal and his medical chart like it's a buddy cop movie where only one buddy ever shows up to the stakeout. You can try to trade Anthony Davis, but what's the market? Contenders don't want that risk, unless the price is yard sale cheap. Non-contenders ain't tying up their cap for a part-time superstar. That distant first you got? It ain't saving you tomorrow. Max Christie? Nice kid, rotation guy, not a franchise accelerator. So you muddle, you spin. You talk yourself into free agency, where every star's agent will say, "Y'all traded Luka at 25. Explain that like I'm 5. You pray for the right new GM with a toolbox and no fear. You draft smart. You hit some singles and doubles. And in 3 years, maybe you're a problem again. In 5, maybe the wounds scab over. In 10, maybe you stop hearing ghost chants in your sleep." Meanwhile, the Lakers caught a shooting star. From the Lake Show perspective, this was like finding the last PS5 on Earth at 50% off. They gave up an aging, oft-injured big, a rotation wing, and a pick that'll probably be in the 20s. In return, they got a 25-year-old heliocentric genius who creates offense like he invented it. LeBron gets to ride shotgun with a co-pilot who sees the same geometry. AD's exit hurt? Sure. Luka's entrance erased the pain like lidocaine. Offense humming. Role players getting paid off with open looks. Crypto.com louder than a drum line. And now, the West got to reshuffle their playoff board because LA became that team you don't want in round 2, unless you enjoy dancing on landmines. The precedent? NBA GMs don't do this. This is going in the handbook under do not. Superstars in their prime are a currency you do not spend, unless the haul is so overwhelming it makes your mother call you to say, "Baby, are you sure?" You cannot flip a 25-year-old top 3 player for "if healthy" and "maybe later" and think the basketball gods won't invoice you with interest. Say it with me. Desperation builds disasters. The Nico chapter. One line, big font.
Every GM wants the bold, the splash, the zag. But there's bold, and then there's reckless. This was not outside the box. This was through the box off the balcony. The legacy is sealed. You traded the franchise's future for a rehab schedule and a vibes crisis. Every move Nico made that worked, poof, gone, under the mushroom cloud of this one. And the heartbreaking part? None of it was necessary. Luka was 25, not 35. You could have tinkered, patched the depth, added a wing, found a backup ball handler, begged a vet 3-and-D to take the mid-level, used second-round pixie dust like the good teams do. Patience could have saved you. Instead, you went for a magic beanstalk and got regular beans.
The fan pain is generational. This ain't a 2-week funk. This is the kind of scar that sits in the rafters. Every time Luka does something absurd in LA, it's a reminder of what should have been. Every time AD misses a week, it's a reminder of what you actually got. Every time Cooper Flag flashes, you'll think, dang, imagine that with Luka, spoon-feeding him corner threes and lobs like room service. You don't just lose games from a trade like this. You lose trust. That's the hardest currency to earn back in sports, because fans will forgive losing. They will not forgive stupid. Okay, how do you climb out? Step 1, stabilize. Hire a grown-up GM, someone who's built a program, who can tell the truth in the room, who won't chase headlines. Find a president of basketball ops if you gotta, and split church and state so one person ain't trying to be Steve Jobs and Tim Cook. Step 2, protect Cooper Flag from savior syndrome. Play him where he can succeed now, not where your desperation wants him to. Build habits. Keep the defense respectable. Get him a veteran guard who can organize a game so he ain't out there translating alien while also learning English. Step 3, triage the AD situation. You either commit fully, minute plans, load schedules, optimized lineups, or you make the uncomfortable calls and see if a contender will pay you 2 rotation pieces and air rights to a future pick. There's no halfway with AD. Halfway just gets you hamstrings and sad pressers. Step 4, rebuild the shooter room. This is 2025, not 2005. You can't put 3 non-shooters out there and pray. Find the cheap 39% guys hiding in people's benches. Steal a stretch 5. Get a combo guard with pull-up juice. You don't need stars, just spacing adults. Step 5, own the past. Transparency matters. If the owner really regrets it, say it clearly. Close the door publicly. Fans don't need perfection. They just need to believe y'all learned the lesson etched into the side of the franchise with a box cutter. The NBA world shifted. Denver, Phoenix, Minnie, OKC, they all gotta account for a Lakers team with Luka detonating coverages. Golden State can't just say, we'll scheme them. The West is a gauntlet again, and LA is holding the sharpest knife. For the Mavs, the path back runs through humility, smart scouting, and time. Lots of it. That's not sexy. That's how you fix what panic broke. The human part, because this ain't spreadsheets. I feel for Dallas fans, for real. This is sports heartbreak at its peak, because it's avoidable heartbreak. Luka was yours. He loved the city. The city loved him. You had a decade runway to build banner nights, and now you're watching that movie in another theater. I also feel a little for the players stuck in the echo chamber. It's hard to hoop while your home arena's running a fire the boss filibuster. But guess what? Winning is WD-40. You stack a few, chance gets softer, confidence gets louder, and suddenly folks remember they like clapping. The Luka LeBron Jazz Basketball Nerd Time? Luka and LeBron is chocolate and peanut butter. 2 genius processors sharing load so neither hits the red line. Luka bends the floor one way, Bron cuts the other. Shooters live their best life. It ain't complicated, it's just mean. And yes, it stings extra for Dallas because the smoother it looks in LA, the louder the indictment feels in Texas. The lesson tattoo? Never trade a 25-year-old top 3 player without getting either A, a younger blue-chip cornerstone plus a mountain of picks, or B, the kind of haul that makes the league sit up like, oh, they got the farm, the tractor, and 2 counties. You do not settle for if healthy and maybe in 2031. You just don't. What the next GM must do day 1, meet Cooper Flag, set expectations. You're a pillar, not a plumber. We'll build the pipes. Sit with the locker room and tell the truth. We messed up. Now we fix up. Call every cap space team and forage for shooters. Overpay a little. Culture and spacing are connected. Create a real point guard plan. If it's not on the roster, go buy one at the veteran store. Keep the picks you can. No more tomorrow for today swaps unless tomorrow brings a star. Does Dallas recover? Yeah, because teams do. I've been around this league long enough to know the cycle. You fall, you scrape, you draft, you sign a vet on a prove it, you hit a mid-round gem, you win 38, then 44, then 51. And suddenly, it's round 2 and the building's humming again. It takes boredom. It takes saying no way more than saying yes. It also takes forgiving yourselves. Every conversation can't be about the Luka trade forever. Not for the guys who show up and sweat. And for the archive, the Nico epitaph. Bold does not mean brilliant. Unconventional does not mean wise. The job is to keep the best player, build the best roster, and make the decisions that 12 months later still make sense. This one didn't survive 12 minutes.
Final words of Mavs fans? I'm not gonna lie to you. This hurts. Now, and it's gonna keep hurting for a while. You're gonna see Luka hit 7 step-backs in a quarter and feel your stomach punch you from the inside. You're gonna see Ad in a suit again and wonder how a front office fell in love with a mirage. You're gonna watch Cooper Flagg do something ridiculous and imagine the timeline that should have been. But fandom ain't a cruise, it's a roller coaster. Stick around. Demand competence. Applaud effort. Boo nonsense. And when the next real step arrives, the moment where the plan clicks, you're gonna feel it twice as sweet because you ate your vegetables through the ugly.